Hello everyone, Hummus28 here, and welcome back to Clayblock. So, as we left off last episode, I'm really not sure. It's been a couple days since I've been recording, so I have no idea what I was doing prior. Now, I do remember I set up assemblers so we could automatically make robot arms, pistons, motors, conveyors, and what is this? Oh, that just feeds into these. So we set up that automation as well. I added a lot more pipe spaghetti, as you could see. And I think the main thing I did was, as you notice, this item pipe is now fully connected to our terminal network. So any items I throw into here can be read by the system and pulled out as needed, which is pretty nice because you could do stuff like this. Like, well, actually this drawer is connected to the system. But what you can do is take it out of there and throw it into the A system like so. Well, I say AE, it's not AE. Our Tom Simple Storage. And then it can pretty much access it from anywhere and read it, which is very nice. It's really useful because if I search dust, you can see all the dust I've been collecting in the end, and this makes it really handy. Especially because of, where is it? Iron, lead, tin. There we go, tin. Tin dust and ingots is very important for making our tin cables, along with I believe soldering also takes tin, right? Yeah, making tin. Which is really important. And something really annoying I found out... Wow, these ducks are very loud. Something really annoying I've noticed with tin, if we take a look here. Tin... I just want to see tin, but everything has like tin in the name. Here we go, this is most of the tin. If you take a look, you can get tin dust by breaking otherworldly crystal. And you can make tin ingots by blasting primed callium ingots to get 8, which is a very expensive way to get tin. Up until we get the, what's it called? I think it's expensive the whole time. Yeah, until we get up to the implosion compressor, it's pretty annoying to make because we have to do block crushing. So there's only 2 ways to get tin, and tin is really important for a lot of stuff. Now there is one other way to get it, and it drops from clay mages, clay spellcasters, archers, and warriors. Archers drop this? I don't think I've seen a single clay archer drop one of these. It might be turned off. Anyways, and they also drop lots of other ingots as well, like electrum, tungsten, invar, cupronickel, bronze. So what I was thinking is I need to set up a clay pillager mob farm in the end, so we could harvest a lot of those ingots for the next tier of progression. Mostly because a lot of stuff is going to take a lot of tin, mostly from the soldering iron to soldering... What wire? Soldering... I think it's just soldering alloy, right? What's this called? Where am I using this? Here we go. Soldering alloy. Which is pretty important. Mostly because tin can only be produced from clay ingots or from breaking those rocks. And it's not that bad that it comes from the rocks because we can eventually mine these from the electric quarry with a pretty low chance, but that does mean we would have a somewhat consistent income of tin. But for the most part, tin is going to be pretty much not able to be automated until we get up to, I believe it's the HV tier, which is going to be pretty far. So we're going to head to the end and build ourselves a little mob farm. But to do so, we are going to need a couple of items. We're going to need a schematic cannon, which will take some smooth stone. I think I have some stone in here. Perfect. We're going to need to melt some of this. I should have a electric furnace that I can borrow. Perfect. As we're going to need a schematic cannon, we're going to need the schematic table, we're going to need an empty schematic, and I believe that's it. We're also going to need a chest for storage, but that's easy enough to make. We just need these items. So let me see. I should be able to make the rest of this. This guy, light blue, paper, to make ourselves a schematic. Then grab some of this smooth stone to make ourselves a schematic table, and this to make the schematic cannon. Now, to actually build the setup I designed, we are going to need a massive amount of terracotta brick, which isn't that hard to get, as in the nether, every single block is essentially a terracotta brick, which is pretty easy. But we are going to need a ton of mangrove planks. Mangrove. because this is the only wood available to us from mangrove logs by smelting 5x compressed terracotta, and that's the only way we can get wood so far if I don't use, the illegal method from prior, as we're going to need quite a lot of these trapdoors. Luckily, it's not too difficult. I have let this drill guy run for quite a while, so we do have a lot of clay that I can convert into our 5x compressed terracotta and get ourselves enough mangrove logs to set it up. So, if you've never built an end mob farm before, the most annoying thing is that essentially you want to build out into the void at least 128 blocks away from anything else. So I need to go about here and then count 128 blocks into the void where we're going to build. It's 128 because Minecraft will try to spawn mobs, let me turn that off, within range of 128, and if they're outside of that range, they'll despawn, which means if we build all the way out there, the only eligible spawns will be in the mob farm, which will help to concentrate our drops because the clay guys only drop at like a less than 1% chance, so you really want to maximize how much you get. Alright, we made it. As you can see, there's the end island way off in the distance, 128 blocks away. The way I count it, to make it easy, is I just take 2 stacks of these slabs and then use that to build. And I'm now realizing I didn't actually put these on the bottom side. So these are technically spawnable platforms. I'm gonna have to fix that later because Endermen are going to spawn on there, which will be very annoying. Regardless, take our schematic cannon table, place the schematic cannon right here. Oh, I didn't bring a chest. Let's see, I should have a chest in here. Chest, perfect. 1, 2, take our table, put this here, and copy endfarmbase.mbt. Done. And let's see, I'll position it like right over here. I'm going to move it using the filters. So you can see if I go F5, you can see it's quite big. Right click, and there it is. It's quite massive. But I do need to position this because I can't see. So let's see, where's X? This is, okay, so west to east is X. So I need to position this further out. So we're going to do 280. Perfect. And I think that's all I have to do, right? Yeah, that's the only change I had to make. Now, if you want it to be more efficient, you can also go down to like Y level 0, but I always find that's really annoying, so I don't do that. But actually, since I'm using the schematic cannon, I could actually just lower this a bit, but just by typing like 20 here to push it downwards. Because we're at 49, that's going to push it down to 29, which is pretty good. So now that it's positioned, you just throw this in here. It's going to say it's out of gunpowder, so let's grab some gunpowder. Bam. So now it can shoot 15,600 blocks, which is pretty good. Now, do I have a book? I don't. Can I craft a book? I think I have some leftover leather. We need a little bit of paper to make our book. And the book is optional, but if you put a book in here, it'll print out the material checklist. So you can see we need 9 magma blocks, 64 mangrove trapdoors, 240 terracotta brick slabs, and 957 terracotta bricks. So we're going to throw in our magma blocks, throw in all of our bricks, along with everything else. And I wonder, I wish there was an easier way to see the progress, because I think if you, yeah, there's no easier way. It doesn't highlight. It does tell you how much it needs. So like magma blocks, easy, 9. 1 stack of mangrove trapdoors. Then this says you need 3 stacks, so you need about 4 stacks of terracotta brick slabs, and we need about 15 stacks of terracotta bricks. So if we sort this, magma blocks, so we need 4 stacks of these, and I should have a lot more terracotta in here. We're going to need 1, 2, it should be 4 stacks. Yep, 4 stacks. Then we need 15 stacks of terracotta bricks. 1, 2, this is 9, 18, okay. Then we just need the trapdoors. So I'll be back with those. Alright, throw in our trapdoors, and this should be everything. Magma blocks, 1 stack of trapdoors, 4 stacks of brick slabs, and 15 stacks of terracotta bricks. So now, if we come in here, let me put this book away, it's ready, and you hit start. And there it goes. It's pretty slow, but it's fully automatic. And the way I did this is... Oh, I need another schematic for the other part. The only thing you have to place yourself is the water. So here's the base. I want the layer tile. And I'll put this in here for now. I essentially built it into 2 parts. So what's currently building is the base layer, which holds the standing platform, the magma block death chamber, and then the main structure where we're going to be standing, and then 1 layer of the structure. Whereas the tile version just gets built above that, and that's going to handle all these spawning platforms. So we're going to go ahead and let this build for a second and let it finish. And there we go. The base is completed. And even without anything further, and let's head up there so you can see the top. Even without anything further, it actually somewhat works. The only issue here though is that if you don't cap it, your spawns of liams are insanely high and it kind of crowds out the claymen, and they don't really want to walk down, which is why you do have to fill up the channels with water to push them down. But other than that, it's pretty good. Now then, I just have to take the other schematic and have it build the layers, and we're good to go. That's going to take quite a long time, but luckily in the latest version of the pack, the mod pack author added chunk loaders. So as long as you keep the chunk loaded, the schematic cannon will just continue working, which is really nice. But to finish off the rest of it, if I show you down over here, by grabbing the tile. Oh, I will need another book, right? Yeah, I'm going to need a second book. Book needs paper. And there we go. Put that in here. Oh, it's not positioned. Whoops. This guy, and I'll position it here and then just fix it. As you can see, looks like that. Each layer is just too tall, with even more trapdoors. And I made the schematic 4 layers at a time. Is that 3? 1, 2. No, that's 2. Perfect. So I just have to position this over this thing. And now I should be able to do this actually. Put this here. To get that, take you out. So now to make each layer tile takes 3 stacks of trapdoors and 21 stacks of terracotta bricks. So it's pretty expensive. But since it's terracotta, it's actually not too bad because our steam quarry can produce like 8x compressed, which produces like 5,000 terracotta bricks, which is really easy. And there we go. It took quite a while. If you use the schematic cannon yourself, I would recommend just open to LAN and run tick sprints to make it go faster, because it's just so slow. Otherwise, just throw in a chunk loader and keep it chunk loaded so you don't have to be here. But now you can see it's functioning. They're falling down. I added a lot more layers, and then I didn't add too many, and I capped off the top to stop the enderman spawns. But you can see by the minimap there's quite a lot of them packed into a very small space. And if we head down, like so, I added a mangrove drawer with a magnet upgrade to grab the drops. And now after running this for about, I think it's been like 45 minutes. These are all the drops. Couple totems of undying, a bunch of empty enchantment books, those are useless, so you could just trash them. Invar, tungsten, soldering alloy, bronze, monzonite, all sorts of stuff, all really useful stuff. Let's see. Curium, yep, there's our tin, I wanted those. So now you can see, if I take this tin and throw it in here, and I type tin, we have a bunch of tin dust, but if I throw tin into the network and it's chunk loaded, you should see the tin disappear. So you could see the tin went into the inventory, but now it's getting pulled into the machines automatically to make more batteries and cables, which is pretty nice. So now we could just chunk load this. Let's see, can I make a chunk loader? Chunk loader. I would need a couple of items, which I do have, just not in here. We have gold, just not processed into ingots because they're going to get eaten by the system, which is a little annoying, but I do have it. So I just have to chunk load it. And luckily this entire farm only takes up 4 chunks. You could probably fit it into 1 chunk, actually. I just built it, offset for some reason. So you could probably fit this entire thing into 1 chunk if you wanted to. But no, it works. And you get tons and tons of useful materials. Now these drops are really slow though, as you can see. Entity drops, it's a very low chance, less than 1%, but when they do hit, you get quite a lot. As you can see, count 3 to 6. Of the dust, you get 16 to 32. So it does add up over time, especially with the chunk loader. Then you could just add some drawers to have more storage, upgrade this to a diamond chest, yada yada, to get access to a ton of stuff. So now I needed, let's see if we can take the lead, take the electrum, invar, and I'll just take all this and then trash the books. Don't need those. Good stuff to have. Throw all that in there, and we're good to go. So now I could spend time AFK in here in the farm, or just leave it chunk loaded. No, actually, it wouldn't work if it's chunk loaded, right? Because you have to be, the player has to be nearby. Yeah, I think the player has to be nearby. But it's a good way to get ores early game that you can't otherwise get quite yet. And it's free, which is pretty nice. Just takes a little bit of setup, but then you're good to go. Now then, with the mob farm set up, I can move on with the progression of the base. Mostly because as I've built this out and the spaghetti gets more spaghetti, I'm realizing I need to do an overhaul of the base to make it flow a lot better and be more manageable. Because I'm starting to lose track of everything. Like you come over here, you're like, what is this? What are these doing? This whole setup over here is where primed claim goes in so that you can take out primed claim drills over here. So you can see it's really annoying trying to figure out where everything is, and I want to centralize it so it can all fit. But before I do that, there's a couple of items I need, mainly nethercotta. Because I need nethercotta so I can make, what is it called? There was an item I wanted. It was, how do you do this? It was needed for clay. Clay 4x. This guy, the pristine infuriator. I need nethercotta to make these, and I need these because their sole purpose is to turn, let me find an example here, is to turn compressed clay into the ore version of our resources, along with doing other stuff like making 9x compressed clay into raw silver. This is essentially the electric version of the blast furnace. And I need this to increase the throughput of our factory. I've been practicing in creative mode, building supply chains, and I set it up to use the blast furnace, and it works. I can keep them supplied with coal coke, so they always have fuel. The issue is blast furnaces are really slow, and they become a bottleneck for the entire factory, whereas a single pristine infuriator does it so much faster. As you can see, blasting this takes 15 seconds. Infuriating it is also 15 seconds, but this overclocks and it'll get down to like 4 seconds, which is so much faster. Now something like this, where it makes 12 raw silver, not that important. It's more so for stuff like making iron and copper, because I need to produce a lot of that to make our steel and run everything else that requires copper, like all of this stuff over here. And having the electric version makes it go so much faster than having a bunch of blast furnaces trying to feed into it, which is really slow. But as you can see, to make stained nethercotta, we need 5 blaze rods, 5 nether bricks, 5 blocks of quartz, and 10 sulfur dust. And this is all really annoying, especially these two. As you know, sulfur dust can only be obtained in one of 2 ways: centrifuge lava, or get it from the mob drop. That's it. It's really annoying. Now, I did take some of the sulfur I just received and threw it in here to fill up our synthetic rubber, but that's fine. Now, you can take one piece of granite and mix it with water and lava to make another one, and this works. It's just really slow, because we then have to take the granite and blast it into nether quartz, which is really annoying. But that is what you're supposed to do. It'd be a lot faster to just turbo buy it in bulk. I wonder, do I have any granite on me? I don't. So we're gonna have to head to the nether, get some granite so we can make the nether quartz. We have enough sulfur, I think. Yeah, to do this 3 times. Then we need nether bricks, which comes from blowing up red nether bricks. And do I have these? Red nether bricks, we have 40. We're gonna have to get more of these. Yeah, everything needed to make nethercotta is just really annoying. Nether bricks come from nether brick, which come from blowing up red nether brick. And red nether brick I don't think is renewable, is it? Netherrack. Can we make netherrack? No, you can make basalt. Red nether brick. You can make one with nether wart, and then this blows up into 2, so that's just a loss. Yeah, that's just a loss, so you can't... It's not renewable until you get an electric quarry, which sometimes produces it. And that's what I'm working towards. The steam quarry is nice, but we need to work up to the electric quarries to actually get more renewable resources. So for now, I'm going to need to obtain more red nether bricks so we can make the regular nether bricks. We need blaze rods. Luckily these are craftable, so that's not too bad. And we need a bunch of granite so I can make the block of quartz. So all in all, really annoying. Luckily you do get 9 out of it, which means we can make a lot of stuff. You know, that would be 9 plates, and making something like the infuriator only takes 1 gear, and the gear is crafted from 4 plates and you get 2 out of it. So it is a pretty efficient craft, it's just really annoying to get up to. So first things first, use bone meal on cave vines to get tons of these berries. Then use all these glowberries to make tons of ochre frog lights. Then blow up the frog lights. This should work, I think. Sort of works. To get blaze powder. And let's see, there's just a little bit of loss that we need to do. Grab that. And I don't really need the slime balls, so I'll move this over here. See, that kind of works. And then fix the floor. So I just do this to place a neat little floor of frogolites because their blast resistance is pretty low. But if I put this in the first slot and turn it on, it works. There we go. To get more blaze powder, and then you use the blaze powder to make more frog lights to make blaze rods. If only there was a better way to get blaze rods. It is a little annoying. Now you can slay blazes with a looting 3 sword to get blaze rods as well. That's pretty standard. But there's no easy way to get blazes unless we spawn them in ourselves, which isn't impossible. And there we go, tons of our bricks. Now we can use that to make nether bricks. That's what we need, right? Yep, nether brick. Put all of this away. Make some nether bricks. Now we just need the quartz, so we need to head back to the overworld. So now if we take a mixer, add in water, add in lava, and grab our granite. We do this, put that in there. It now doubles the granite. So now let me grab some item pipe. And what you can do to make this easy is take out all the cobblestone, throw that into your storage, put a pipe here, connect these, and you set this to input output, set this to input output. So now it's going to pull out the granite into the chest, and then pull the granite back out into the mixer, so you can produce infinite granite. And then we can take the excess and throw that into our blasting machine. Oh, you can also throw it into the cleansing blazer. Huh, good to know, because I have a couple cleansing blazers over here I can use. Let's see, how are you doing, buddy? Making more clay, nice, nice. Making more gold and diamonds, nice. So we probably have a ton of steel by now, I think. which is pretty good. 269, awesome. So now we just need to get a ton of granite, and once this ramps up to full speed, that should make us a ton, and then I can convert that into our block of quartz, and we can make ourselves some stained nethercotta. And there we go, 4 stacks of nether quartz to turn into our blocks. Do this, do that, throw that in here, make blocks of quartz, and now we should be able to make our blocks of stained nethercotta. Let's see, can I make more blaze rods? Blaze. We have a bit of this, we have a bit of rods. We're going to need more blaze powder, but I should be able to do a little bit more. Grab that, grab this. Okay, we can do 2. Nice. Now we just need an anvil. And we need pickaxe. So we need block of quartz, nether brick, blaze rod, sulfur, and it has to land on top of 9x compressed terracotta. So if we come to our quarry, we have some 9x, which is also used for primed clayum. That's pretty annoying. But we can take this and throw it into the smelter to make 9x compressed. There we go, 9x compressed. Descent to Saccharase. And now if I throw you there, throw our sulfur dust, blaze rod, nether brick, and block of quartz, and throw this on top, we get 1 block of stained nethercotta. Nice. Now I'm going to do that one more time, just so we can get 18 to start with. Might as well do all of it. Terracotta, quartz, blaze rod, sulfur, nether brick. Take you and you for 2 of these. Nice. So now that we have this, we could turn these into gears. Where's my gears at? Into gears, and use it to make the pristine infuriator, or stained nethercotta drill heads, which we can't actually use because then you gotta turn them into stained nethercotta drills, which we could actually craft at this point, but for that we need an electric quarry, which would be nice because then it would produce all the resources necessary to make more stained nethercotta. Now for this next bit, we're back into the nether because I need to find something that can only be found here. And the only way you can find it is by going up to Y level 120 in the nether at the very tip top of the nether roof. And let's see, it should be right up here. There's the bedrock. Now I just gotta look around for it. There we go. Netherrack. Netherrack can only be found at the very top of the nether, next to the nether roof. And I need this for a very specific purpose. Now, for one thing, you can use it to duplicate your smithing templates, which is pretty good. It's a cheap way to do so. You can smelt it into nether bricks, of course, but because the quantities are so low, it's really a waste of time to spend a lot of time trying to quarry these just to get the netherrack to turn into bricks. It's not worth your time, but I need them for a separate purpose. So I'm going to collect like a stack of these, and then I'm going to head back to the overworld. Now, before I go to the overworld, there is one more thing I forgot. I need to craft ourselves 1 syringe, and I need to find a blaze. As you know, blazes only spawn in those little structures. Luckily, there was always one next to the base that I didn't touch, and I knew it would come in handy. So let me go ahead and release this guy. Although I need to keep the villager inside. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the villager at this point. Maybe at some point I'll use him and like take him out. It's a little annoying. Even at this distance, trying to fight the blazes to get him back home, it's gonna be really annoying. Okay, I released the villager. That makes it easier. Now you just gotta keep clicking this guy till it's completely full. And now we can leave. Roger, good luck, my friend. Alright, so now that we got the blaze blood, we need to craft 2 machines. Actually, we need to craft 2 machines, but we need to craft 4 in total. So we need to make a spawner, which will take redstone. We're out of redstone. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. There's no redstone, because all the redstone got pulled into the system. So there's got to be redstone in here somewhere. There we go, redstone. We need a bone. Huh, I don't have any bones, now that I think about it. And there's nothing that drops bones. So the only way to get a bone is through fishing. Where's my fishing rod? There it is. So I'm gonna fish until I get a bone and we'll be right back. Alright, so after like half an hour of fishing, we got 1 bone, 7 pufferfish, 7 salmon, 26 cod, a water bottle, and a saddle. Pretty good. So now with that, I can finally craft ourselves some machine frames. I just need some 5x compressed clay real quick, which we can take from the quarry. Well, not the 5x directly. I'm going to have to smelt it from a higher tier. So let's grab 7x. Turn you into 6, into 5, and make ourselves a machine frame. Then make ourselves 1 spawner. And if you're wondering where to get rotten flesh, there's actually a couple ways. You can fish it. I got one from fishing it a while ago. It also drops from pigmen, which sometimes spawn from the nether portal. Now I need to craft 3 matter beamers, so we're going to need 12 glowstone blocks. And let's see, another 12 blocks of redstone. Which we're all out of redstone. Is there no other place I can steal redstone from? Because I think all of it just went into here to make lubricant and batteries, right? Yeah, there's redstone in here somewhere. Just don't know where it is. Redstone is another one of those crafts that is very annoying. Okay, yeah, redstone goes in here to make batteries. Yeah, redstone is another one that's really annoying, because if you take a look, redstone can only be made from blowing it up. That's it. You can also get it from trading villagers, which might be one of the only reasons you get villager trading done. Alright, come on villager, up the stairs please. So yeah, I hope this works. I might need to use slabs to pull him up. Actually, sure. Nope, he goes up. Perfect, perfect. And it broke. Now pull him into the base. And through the nether portal. And where'd he go? There he is. Perfect. Alright, buddy. Yeah, that's your bet. Go ahead. Let's see, so he's gonna live here. And the whole reason I got him was so we can get more redstone. And the brewing stand is right here. So he should become... Oh, I'm sorry. You're a leather worker? What? Why did you become a leather worker? Actually, can we craft melons? Do we have access? Wait, did you change? Nice, he changed. Perfect, I thought he wasn't going to change. I guess that doesn't count as cycling trades. But now we can trade 2 emeralds for 2 redstone. You can see he's really not happy right now, which is why there's a... what's the opposite of a discount? He's ripping me off. He doubled the price. But that's fine, because it's a lot easier to get emeralds, because emeralds are quite easy to obtain. Emerald. This guy is just from green terracotta. Alright, so take your emeralds. Oh, nice, he's happier. To get double that. Nice, what a deal. 24 redstone. When his mood improves, it'll be even better. Oh, and now he has regen. Nice, so he's going to heal up, which will make his mood better. Now we can also turn gold into emeralds. But I can't do it again. You can only do it once a day. Twice a day, actually. But I still need... Actually, I think that's enough, right? Should be enough here to do that. And make ourselves 1 matter beamer. Which means we're all set. Nice. Did you restock? Perfect. And that's a pretty good way to get redstone. And then I should also be able to craft... Oh, do I I don't think I have any amethyst. Oh, I do have amethyst. Nice. Which means I can make ourselves a deed box using a block of emerald, some tinted glass, like so, 1 deed box, and then I'll put it down here. This will be like the trading square. right there. And now it's waiting for villager. So what I can do is take the brewing stand and I'm going to put it on top of this. So now if I breed him to the deed box, it turns green, which means he is now linked to the deed box. So you can see he can't stand the decor, he needs some protection, he's wounded so he's not feeling great, and he would like some room to walk around. Everything else he's pretty good. He has access to water, he needs some more friends, and he's not feeling that great. He is wounded. I wonder why he didn't do more regen. But now what's going to happen is he's going to walk over here to the brewing stand to work, but then he's going to walk back to the bed when he wants to go to sleep. And if you make him happy enough, in here he'll give us little gifts. What those gifts are, I'm not actually sure. But for now, it works. So now, let me go ahead, I'll place it over here for now. We need just these 3 items to finish this. So you're going to go ahead and place the spawner pretty much wherever you want, and place the matter beamer nearby. Then connect both of these to power, and with your syringe, put that inside. So now it tells you to spawn a blaze, you need 1000 RF, 0.1 blaze rod, 0.5 netherrack, and 30 organic matter. And this could be anything. Now where's my smart wrench? Right here. Now take your smart wrench and you're going to link the matter beamer to the spawner and put your items inside. So, oh, it also needs power, so I'm going to need a lever. Like so, lever. Flip you on. So now if I put in the netherrack starts getting beamed into the spawner. So you can see each block of netherrack is 1, whatever unit it's using. So 1 stack is 64, which means it can run 128 times off of 1 stack of netherrack. Now we need our blaze rod, which I don't have any. I'm out of blaze rods. So let me grab the blaze rod and put in some food. Luckily, this is where all the fish is useful, because it works with literally any organic matter, and you're going to need quite a lot of it. Let's see, do I have a hopper? I should have a hopper. I do. 1 hopper. And grab the salmon. And I forgot the other fish, but that's fine, because we only need 30. You do get different values, so it looks like the pufferfish were worth quite a lot. Why doesn't that want to go in? Huh, that's weird. Anyways, that's working. Let me make a blaze rod. Alright, so now we got the blaze rod. Throw this in here. Beam it over. And turn you off. So now you can see it spawned the blaze. It consumed a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of fish. So now, to get better yields, we just need looting on a sword. Alright, nice. It took 3 times, but I got looting 3. Perfect. As you can see, I swapped out, this is the old sword, this is the new one I just crafted, but this one rolled better stats. So I just did this one a couple times. And now we got it. Sharpness 4, knockback 2, looting 3. Only took 3 times. I was thinking you could probably do more villagers and get the librarian, but since you have to deal with the deed boxes, I'm not sure it'd be that great. There are monsters in the area. What is making him scared? What do you see, Roger? But now that we have sharpness 3, I mean not sharpness, looting, we should be able to get these at a much higher rate. So with looting 3, it's 0 to 4. Which means every time I slay a blaze, I can make 4 more blazes. Well, actually not 4. 1 rod can make 10. So if, yeah, 1 rod can make about 10. It's actually less than 10 by the looks of it. With looting 3, I could make up to 40 blazes. Okay, we just got 2 that time. But that's also why I went and got a ton of mushrooms. So I could feed them into this. Turn you on. Blaze rods goes inside. Mushrooms will feed it next. They should be feeding it. I wonder why stuff doesn't go in here. There we go. Oh wait, I bet I know what it is. It's probably, if I do it like this, it's probably like a furnace. Never mind. I don't know. I don't know how to automate it. Anyways, now we can make more blaze rods, so much easier. Just one. Wow, that's actually still really low. Yeah, with looting 3, it's 0 to 4. But that's still annoying. It's still really low. Looting 3. But at least I can keep doing this pretty much forever, because feeding its mushrooms seems to be getting it half, and we can get stacks upon stacks of mushrooms by going into the nether. So it's honestly pretty cheap for the amount of work you have to do. What I'm wondering, you can make a villager syringe, which means I could probably spawn more villagers instead of having to cart them from the nether, which is pretty good. But now that we can make more blaze rods, we can make more nethercotta pretty easily. Of course, sulfur dust is still annoying, but now that we have our mob farm set up in the nether, we can also get all of our items that way as well. Wait, that's all the mushrooms? Oh no, they're in here. There we go. Always forgetting that. Which means we're pretty set. So I think what I have to do is build a village for our villagers so we can keep them happy so I can actually trade. As you can see, it's really not that difficult. Keep them happy, keep them healthy, keep them protected, and you're good to go. Add candles, flowers, bookshelves, and other decorative blocks. Hasn't seen anyone. Yeah, so get other villagers and give them a longer commute. I'm not actually sure what it means by longer commute. I don't know how far that has to be, and I don't feel like testing it. As long as most of these are in the green, you can trade pretty easily. So that's all I'm going to focus on. But I bet you could already tell this episode has gone on quite long enough. I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.